people say they want this senator. They're breaking all the law. The law you mean breaking the law, but you want to go up. You know why people want to go out? Because they want to increase the time. They say they are too short. You cannot be a gangster, then you want to run global. You cannot be a lawmaker that is respecting the law that we made ourselves. Then you say you want this senator, and then you waste your time. Nobody here can be for the government economy. But when we kill people, it's not happening and it will never happen. The only thing they are there for, when last people for their government keep and say, sacrifice people, don't look at Moya saying, give me 1% and one go in law. But they sit down over there in front of their family because they need work. And the person that needs work, and the person sacrifice person they want there. We implore our family because some people are happy. Because it is a time to be happy. It is nobody time when the country is not better. It is everybody time when the country is better. And we give this as a challenge to all of you people. 2029, we may be on the ballot for the presidency. Where we will come here and say, you people will have to appoint a commissioner for sacrifice. The police they are educated people. It's not about education. It's about how well you govern your people. They got people that got degrees, they know nothing. The only person with 8 people that they can't achieve nothing from. Our marketeers will come to power. In every country, at least 2 million employees for marketeers, sprinting runners, and younger boys to empower themselves. The money is there. But everything is long without carrying the benefit out. Because we are close.
Tell yourself, forget to forget about Yaka Koluba.
What did Paladino Yaka Koluba?
Tell Yaka Koluba. Don't Yaka Koluba. You are not allowed to let you talk. You forsake yourself. Yaka Koluba crossing you. Yaka Koluba crossing Korea. You are telling a lot to say Yaka Koluba. Tell them, man. And you don't tell them Yaka Koluba for that. And I'm going to go Yaka Koluba there. You know when I want to do all that. You move to all the way to go. Just take the ball for Yaka Koluba.
You laugh here, you go for Yaka.
Yes.
Sahu Bene.
Because Yaka Koluba and the one that is talking to you was. So you are telling to me Yaka Koluba because a budget.
Oh, Yaka can be talking to the president. It's not a good thing.
Yes. They're happy. Saying that you, my mother, your mama, happy for you. When you are not going to betray Yaka Koluba or betray the great people in one day, Yaka Koluba are not going to cross you. You understand? You understand?
When they welcome me, they say they were freedom fighters. When they welcome me, they say they were liberators. I want to be what kind of people? What kind of people? Freedom fighter, you raping our freedom fighter, you killing our children. Freedom fighter, you destroying our When they were coming, say they were liberators. When they were coming, they say they were liberators.
Hello.
But when they came,
Yeah,
they changed.
My son, you made mistake.
When they
Father.
came,
I heard you last night. Yes,
what kind of people they say?
absolutely after the whole election
What kind of
at
people?
in my corner. If you hear my preaching, no
Freedom,
family,
where are
you
you
will
raping
conclude
our
that
women?
on the right. Will you
Freedom,
rescue
where are
as
you
a
killing our
preacher
children?
after winning?
Freedom, where are you
But
destroying
after
our
I don't even
country?
answer my phone, you don't pick me up. You don't let me down. They don't even have time. I don't talk, I don't talk because God knows why it's happening. And everything I will accept it because our son who is now president to him from Minda, the Minda will not understand if I start dating on Breaker. The Senate never start for Breaker. When we have vote, the Senate did a comprehensive report of their funding and the type of Supreme Court ruling and the amnesty law and everything. And the position Senate for Road Commissioner who decided on budget to Korea. They said the way forward is a Panama House discussion for peace. Then my brother come now.
When they were coming, they said they were freedom fighters.
They deal on there.
When they were coming, they said they were
And you know well,
liberators.
you got to take
But
all
when
kind of way.
they came their they changed their mind. When they came their they changed their mind. What kind of people they so?
They are freedom fighters.
What kind of people they so?
They are freedom fighters.
You freedom fighter, you raping our women.
They are freedom fighters.
Freedom fighter, you killing our children.
They are freedom fighters.
Freedom fighter, you destroying our country.
They are freedom fighters.
Ayo, 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 ayo. Ayo, 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 ayo.
Oh, yes, indeed. What a great day it is.
Ayo, 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 ayo. Ayo, 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 ayo.
What a great pleasure it feels to be right back behind these microphones after a very busy weekend. As always, today is Monday.
When they were coming, they said they were liberators. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they came their time,
Beginning the week,
changed their mind. When they came their time, they changed their mind. What kind of people they so?
They are freedom
yeah, this other, I mean, at least the weather looks a lot better this morning.
Better you
Unlike the past 3 to 4 days,
freedom fighters.
it has really been
killing our children.
They are freedom fighters.
Freedom fighter, you destroying our country.
They are freedom fighters.
it has been very, very difficult for some of our folks
Ayo, ayo, ayo.
across the country.
Ayo, 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 ayo.
But it's good to be back. A pleasant good morning to all of you, our friends.
Ayo, ayo,
Good morning to our followers.
ayo,
Good morning to those of you in the diaspora.
ayo, ayo.
It's always good to have you join us for breakfast. This is the Freedom Morning Rise on Freedom 87.9, where we discuss the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development. And of course, as always, there are too many things to talk about, especially after a very eventful weekend. Yes, indeed. Shake-ups, alignments, and realignments. Political preparations. The air is filled with lots of interesting development around the politics of Liberia. And of course, this morning, we're going to rumble you through all of the most trending that you ought to know. We're very glad this morning to have very extensive conversations about the newest political party on the block, Citizen Movement for Change. And the Citizen Movement for Change has been very involved lately. You know, they've been dealing the things, and people are caught in the web of all of the quote unquote Boakai and CDC politics. But they have been making some inroads, fast growing and grabbing big fish here there. So this morning we'll be talking to the political leader and founder of the Citizen Movement for Change, Honorable Musa Hassan Bility of District Number 7, Nimba County. They call him the Developmental Musa. The man who's building the bridges, connecting the villages. And today we're going to talk the CMC, his politics and vision. Should the CMC be considered or accepted as a third alternative, a third option, as a third option in the politics? Is it coming to position itself as a third option or another collaborator that will just in a matter of time collaborate with two of the CDC and Unity Party? Musa says no. So at 9 o'clock we'll find out exactly from the man himself, the big man, Musa Hassan Bility. And of course it promises to be a very intriguing conversation here this morning. That's all you need to know. Maybe you have heard about the party. You just want to know more and consider joining, but you like to listen to the vision. Yes, this is the same Musa Bility that chair the Liberty Party quite recently in the just ended presidential elections. But in the meantime, between now to 9 o'clock, we're going to have conversations about other issues making news in Liberia. And of course, we've seen for the most part, and I think it's safe to say that the government of Liberia and of course the president, Joseph Newman Boakai, has finally concluded its national healing or reconciliation and closure program for the war. And we've seen reburial. And in the mind and wisdom of the president, these events mark the full closure of every grief and sorrow that Liberians have got from the 18 years of civil unrest. This model of transitional justice, is it all encompassing? Is it fair in itself? The Boakai's approach to transitional justice, as we've seen, I saw the reburial of quote-unquote former leaders, and in the minds of others, people who can be considered as perpetrators being dignified, some of their family members being compensated. So what is justice for the layman? What is justice for those who lose their arms, their legs, villages that got fire, families that were ruined? What does the state offer for them? This have ignited a conversation in the Liberia intellectual space, and the fact that each of us, one way or the other, were victimized by the war, to see the country spend money, taxpayers' money, to honor and dignify a certain group of people while the rest of us are left to be spectators. When our grief and hurts are still deep down in our hearts, what kind of leadership has the president communicated? Folks, we're going to spend very elaborate time on that, and of course gauging your view as well. My name is Abu Sharif, and of course Hagar Gonda is here. But just before Hagar comes in, just remember today the cash giveaway returns, and of course it has come differently for just 50 Liberian dollars, not 100 anymore. So if $100 used to give you one play, $100 gives you two on the Win Liberia cash giveaway. The code is the same. Star 255 star 1 hash hash. Star 255 star 1 hash hash. You entered, and then you follow the instruction. The more you play, the better the chances are to win. For just $50 or 25 cents. For those of you that want to play from your USD wallet. So I believe we can have more plays this morning, and we can certainly have more winners to match up. For the past 1 month now, every time we come here in the morning, we will break another news of stealing and corruption, and this morning is no exception. The latest come from the Civil Aviation Authority, the RAA. Internal audit reveals corruption hits RAA as DG awards US 30,000 contract to wife. So the Director General that Bwaka sent to the RAA has awarded $30,000. So he gave $30,000 to your wife and her family. I say, Bwaka take all your whole family and get into the second merchant. So everybody eating the show. Hey, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Abu. Good morning. It's good. We are back here again after another weekend. It's good that we're here on a fresh Monday to begin a brand new week for all of you. Welcome to all of you who are just joining us. If you are there and maybe you following us via the internet, it's good joining us, whether you're following us on Facebook or YouTube, or maybe using your radio, using your phone to listen to us. It's good that you're making the efforts. You've made our efforts, and because always when we are here, it promises to be an interesting conversation and too many things. Imagine, like Abu just concluded before turning over to me, corruption scandal again. This is something we're talking about. This is something that have become regular and usual in the body politics of our country, especially since the ascendancy of our this president. It's good that we are here, and also talking about the issue of the closure, according to the quote unquote closure of the reconciliation of those people who lost their lives, and the reburial of people who lost their lives, and all of that. It's good that we are here, and to the people of Nema, this is an interesting conversation that you would never want to miss. We will not mention our voice on some of these things. We delve deeper into what it is, the deception that was played to get to where the Bwaka's administration is today, and the deception that was used to ensure that the man you call your political godfather, all of those deception that led to his death. We will be unpainting them here this morning, and so I'm sure you will not want to miss this conversation.
Okay, so that's the shipment size of the conversation, and of course at 9 o'clock we go CMC, of course, and but just before that time, this whole reconciliation thing, and the idea is good, actually, to be frank, and nobody should get us misquoted. The idea is brilliant. We need it, and I believe this country needs reconciliation, but we need genuine reconciliation, not selective reconciliation. non-reconciliation that identifies or cater to the grief of the elites and leave the rest of us, and to just be ourselves. I mean, this is in this ancient time. You do not expect the government will embark on a process like that, and that is why the TRC document. If you have not read the TRC, you have to read it and see the recommendations, right? And that is where, when the debate about the establishment of the War Crime Code ensued sometime during the Weah administrations, and some of us were clear. We said, look, at this point, we believe we must go by the recommendation, right, of the TRC that considers, foreclosure through the medium of restorative justice, right, and other had different views about that. But we'll go into the details of these to understand and know exactly whether what happened was actually for the country or it was for few elite. So to get justice in Liberia, you have to be in certain class. Have we already break away from that class system, right? Or are we still in the cycle? It's just being moderated, and then we all are being used at the end of the day to either support one other clique of elites, and versus the other, right? But just before that, make some money. *255*1##. Quite simple, and the prompt comes very instantly, right? For $50 Liberian dollars, not 100. This morning you qualify to win $4,000 or $5,000, right here, for 50.
So it's actually from 4,000 to 10,000.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you can win even
so
10,000.
anything between 4 to 10,000.
Right. So we told you that our new partnership was going to be for you. This is for the people, of the people, and by the people. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now what for the rescue, of the rescue, and by the rescue. So, but yes, so that's what it is. We are going to be watching. It's 5 minutes to 8 o'clock. At 8:15, we will consider doing our first draw, and we hope to get more winners and be able to pay as much as we can, because today is $50. So you just try. For example, if you have 300, that's 6 plays, right?
Yeah.
So if you have $300, imagine 300.
We should increase your opportunity.
Yeah. So if you have $300, you play 6 times, 50-50. That will be deducted. So if you have $500, you play 10 times, right? So you see how the whole thing now, right? So $500 is going to give you 10 chances of winning out of 4,000, 5,000, or even 10,000, depending, right? So just be on the right hand side of the system, and then pick your number up for either of it. And so that is exactly what it is. So here, let's recognize our followers.
Facebook followers this morning.
Then we can move into our conversation.
You want us to take some quick break? Let's take a quick break.
Okay, so
Crime Stoppers Liberia.
So let's
right here. Then we'll come back. We'll recognize our followers on Facebook. Then we start to give money before we get done. We'll get to our serious line of conversation.
It's about musical. There are crimes in many places. In every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't tell law in your hand for the right authority. Then it can't take your law in. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see you must talk it. I mean you check. Do it for your safety. If you see don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper. Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Yes, indeed, Crime Stopper Liberia, and of course, officially the sponsor and partner of the morning conversation here on Freedom 87.9, Liberia's most informative breakfast platform, where we discuss the issues without fear nor favor. And of course, it's always a good thing to be here, particularly on the Monday morning. Kudos to our cyclists, the taxi drivers, even the Yana boys, the Yana girls, just everywhere you are. I'll owe my I'll pay them your morning. It's good to have you all join us this morning for breakfast. Yes, as always, we are very committed to having very incisive conversations about issues that matter most to our country's progress. We are in very turbulent moment. I can say so. Things are really going down, and of course, every citizens of this country will have to get on their bended knees to pray for the soul of Liberia. It's been stolen. Those in power care less. Every time we come here and report about act of corruption, we are reporting about what is happening that's causing danger to your children and your grandchildren. So you have to take these conversations seriously. So you see that man at the RAA that have siphoned $30,000 and awarded it to his wife, right? You know, nepotism has become normal in this government, and it doesn't look embarrassing to anybody anymore. Because you know what? This whole core of conduct thing, I think we'll have to revisit it some kind of way to be able to strengthen it. It's good that we're going to have a lawmaker here this morning, see how we can profile, because it seems like there are flagrant violations of the code of conduct. And the essence of the code of conduct, as we know it, is to strengthen good governance culture. It's to strengthen good governance culture. But when we see that in the midst, or in the face of the code of conduct, people are still, doing these kinds of bad governance practices are happening normally, and redress. I mean, we're not seeing practical, willful action on the part of, duty bearers to correct these things and take real actions against them. Then it is worrying. Then why do we make the laws? We make the laws to strengthen our institution, to guard our human conduct in the discharge of our duties and functions as leaders of the nation. So it is important. But again, this is where we are, to be head of an entity, and then the idea of even awarding the contract to your wife, that's conflict of interest. I mean, whatever happened with the money or not, that's I mean, we're not even going there yet. But the idea of that is a flagrant violation. And when these things come up, right, it is important that the president takes action. But unfortunately, we have a president who does not take action, and by himself organically, but rather he has to be for the most part, somebody in the mansion have to go and say this. For example, let's be fair and frank and straight up to the point. The action taken against the suspended LTA commissioner, right, does not make sense. It's belated. And I find it as a witch hunt. Why do I think so? Right? This man, the act for which this man was held or was held in the audit report, in fact, it is the man's company, right? There is a difference between a business and a business owner. You have to understand that. That is the reason why you can sue the business, right, independently from its owner. But you can say if a business company commits a crime, then you go and hold the owner. You have to sue the business. You have to punish the business, right? That Tama group of company, it has a manager, it has a general manager, it has a whole setup. It's registered under the laws of Liberia. So whatever restoration that has to happen, whatever punishment that has to happen, it has to be showed up by Tama group of company. Because if you read the audit report, it's Tama. It doesn't say Abdullah Kamara as an individual. So we need to be clear. We need to run a just republic, a just society. So what happened to John, if you're not correct, we have to say it. Because tomorrow it could be Paul. Or it could be ourselves. So we need to be clear. Right? So now, but to demonstrate how passive the president is, this other report was there, it was flagged. You appointed this man. That means you accepted that it has got no bearing on the individual. You appointed the man. So what has changed subsequently? The only guess we can make is that certain people who are actually under Abdullah Kamara went ahead and they're all the coup, and finally they're getting out. It speaks to the poor decision making of the president. And that's what you don't like to hear. The president is very poor and weak in his decision making. That's why most times things he consider always look so very, very disturbing. Right? Something we're going to talk more about later on. So that is exactly what that is, right? So can we recognize our followers?
Yes.
And then we come to our conversation.
We can do that right here, starting up first with
Samuel. We do the draw.
Yes, starting up first with Samuel Light Cooper. Samuel Light Cooper says, "Good morning, family. I am following from Cartwell." He says that. Henry T. Tool Jr. says, "Good morning. I am following you up from my residence in Cartwell. Thanks for the information to our country mama Liberia." Vani A. Bala says, "Good morning, Freedom family." Roland Sua says, "Good morning, Freedom FM. I'm Roland Sua, watching from Johnsonville, Kangastown community." Ma Martha's son says, "Good morning, Freedom Morning Raz. I'm following from Banga, Bon County." He says that. Faith Moba says, "Good morning, Freedom family. I am not hoping for any positive results from GMB visit to the USA. Bwaka likes diplomatic characters, and he does not have the moral to defend his ill leadership before the world more powerful man." Peters Emmanuel says, "Good morning, my Freedom family." Stanley A. Anderson says, "Good morning, Freedom Radio. I'm following you live this morning from down Waterside." He says that. Lucille Lake says, "Good morning, Freedom family." Venetius Junior Bar says, "I am watching from Nikru Town." Daniel Chilebi says, "Good morning, Freedom FM family. I am watching you from District 17, Montserrat County, Breville City." D. April Pabai, "I am watching from Grand Cape Mar County." Derek P. Jala is following. Ex David Foley watching you from Bombay County. He says that. Helena Wilson says, "Good morning, family." J. Emmanuel Nice says, "Good morning, Abu Sharif and co-host. I am watching from Johnsonville City View behind Heart of Grace." Stephen Nangwe said, "Good morning, watching you from Pipeline Community." Henry N. Dodo says, I'm watching live from Yekipa, Nima County. James Lamy says, good morning, brother Abu. Stephen Fowler Jr. Says he's watching. George Watkins Jr. Good morning, everyone. I'm following from my comfort zone in District 13, Montserrado County, Liberia. Chelsea Firstborn Yaya Kruma says, good morning to the Freedom FM family. My name is Yaya J. Kruma. I am following the show from the western region of Liberia this morning. Swahilo Rare says, good morning. Following from Logantown, Broad Street. Masa Meleki says, good morning to you guys. I am following from 8th Street. Ansu Coleman says, I'm following from the Economic Freedom of Liberia. I think it will be Freedom Fighters of Liberia. Moses Toba. Moses says, good morning, Freedom FM. My name is Moses Toba. I am watching live from 72nd Pellet. Please try to change your date. Okay, so we check up to see what's the date. What's the date here? Maybe. Yasa Sharif says, good morning, Freedom family. Morris Sando says, good morning, Freedom FM family. My name is Morris Sando, following you from the Best City Dry Rest Market. Baye Joshua says, good morning, guys. I am watching from District 6, GSA Road. Mark Kura says, good morning, Freedom Radio Liberia. I am Mark Kura, following live from Ganta City, Nimba County. Joseph Flomo says, good morning, Freedom. I am following from FD Benas Farm, Painesville. Frank Mayo says, good morning, guys. I am following the best morning show from my transit point on the Somalia Drive Japan Freeway. Intellectual Mind says he's watching. Force to Force is watching. Ebenezer Gamoyu Gren watching from Sierra Leone. Otis Barkley, good morning, good morning, family. I'm following the conversation from McDonald's Street. GMB is our country problem. He says that. Newton Wally says, Helena Wilson. Okay. I think it's David A. D. Quay says, good morning, my Freedom family. I am watching from Gartnersville Town Hall community. A. Valley Koro says, good morning, Freedom family. Always watching live from Banjul in the Gambia. Alvin Snyder says, good morning, Freedom. Stephen A. Bass says, good morning, Freedom Morning Rise family. I am following the show from Dakar, Senegal. Jerry T. Sakama, good morning, Freedom family. Watching live from Vonjama City, Lofa County. Keep up the good work, guys. Eric Tingbe says, good morning. Good morning, Freedom. I am following you from Painesville ZZ community. Alaska P says, good morning, Freedom FM 87.9 TV. I am following from the Ethics Care Research Center, Sector 17. Yes, in India. Abraham C says, good morning, family. I am watching from Claratown. Arvin Sompon says, Patriots must add league campaigners in is following. Okay. Patriots must add league campaigners is following. Johnson Dollar says, good morning, guys. I am watching from my New Jersey resident. Gabriel M. Parker says, good morning. I am Gabriel M. Parker, watching from Tottenburg, Bomi County. Lancy Guaipa says, good morning, Freedom. I am XPZ watching from Ganta. Cecilia Logan says, good morning, my Freedom family. Derek Sewan says, good morning, Freedom, and good evening from my end. I am watching from Australia and Austria. He says that. So that does it for except we want to just take Lawrence no there. Says, watching you early this morning from Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. We are waiting for Buakai. We will deal with him. He says that.
Fair enough. Thanks a lot to all of you for joining and kindly share the show. Make sure The show reaches as far as Mr. Brakas and of course Katumu Braka. We want to make sure that all of the time they are following. So kindly share the show in all of the group chat that you're in and share on Facebook and other places. Yeah, that's how much you can contribute to the work we do here. But anyway, so this is it. The president leaves for the U.S. until today, right? For the summit with Donald Trump. But things don't look fine. And in fact, we're getting report that the views of some Republican in the U.S. about Liberia today is that we are a pro-China deep state. And these are worrying perspectives about who we are. So I do not know from the perspective of the foreign policy agenda of this government, as much as we've heard on the record, a lot of conversations from official dome. But can we safely say that, yes, indeed, that's who we are? But with this kind of mindset, are they welcoming of our president, these views, and, and all that? Is there anything for Liberians to hope in a visit to the U.S. with the notion and the rivalry that exists between China and America, in the at the global level today, and being viewed, as a stepchild in the midst of that to the other party? You're going to the other party, and normally we are a country that's always on the outlook for help and all of those things. But any which way, so we'll keep following. But I know basically there are some things that our president and his delegation is going to be confronted with, and in fact, inclusive of his delegation, they now include plenty security people. I mean, almost all the security people in Caribbean, they worry, they're scared. All that thing they can be doing, they scale. I mean, I think Brennan Samuka and all go on it. I don't know what they're going to do.
So
the thing is,
so what I've gathered is that whole thing is almost like a summon. So the U.S. president have summoned 5 African head of state. So they are going to answer to some questions.
Okay.
What he
means is the way when you're doing something to your entity, they can someone you can.
Yeah.
So
that's
something good thing.
Yeah.
Friends, you can.
So, or even if you think a good thing, they want you to come and better explain why you think it is good. And if the bad thing, they want you to come and explain why you are doing it. You know that it's wrong, but you're doing it.
But on the back of that, what has happened? We are trying to verify that. By the close of today, we lay our hand on it. But it's important for us to do it so that we are hearing unofficially that the government of Liberia, the Investment Commission, has entered or is in the process of entering into preliminary concessional arrangement with Ivanhoe. HPS. Remember, some time ago,
another newspaper is reporting that it's being done on a cover now.
Secretly. It's been done secretly. Yeah. That I know of, right? So, but this is it. Why are they? Oh my word! But this is that, folks. 2 things we're going to speak to before our guests come in at 9, right? And you attended the press conference over the weekend of former finance minister. He has come out. Since his return, he has been busy, pursuing his legal issue, going to court here, there. He has not really spoken that much. So to see him come out in the first place, just without anything, signal that there is something that's probably not going too fine. And he believes he has to come out and set the record straight on 1 or 2 of these things. And he made a lot of revelation, excuse us of the part about claiming whatever, but the revelations about exposing the trajectory that the case and the trial is taking, which is political, and it's worrying and it's scary. And of course, the revelation of determination by some just to having hang off and placed behind bars. I don't think these things should be happening. We should not miss, genuine actions against corruption with political sentiment. We must be clear. If we're pursuing act of corruption, we pursue them void of our political sentiment, all of that, because we are spending state resources. Mind you, now we are spending the country money on these things. So we can be spending the country money to appease the whims and caprice of some political elite. It should not be that way. The country money should be spent genuinely, and we must get results. Our desire to pursue corruption cases in the country must be informed by our capacity to prosecute, right? And that would be demonstrated by the evidence gathered. So prosecution must do their job. It must not only be about the political, expediency or the political correctness, and we just go after and bring opponents down. And the whole issue about fighting corruption just look childish. We are scary about that. But you follow the press conference. Tell us.
So, like you said, Abu, for me, it was important that the former finance minister come out and speak. And not just him, Abu. I'm one person who still hold the view that many of those past state actors, people who participated greatly in the running and affairs of our country, this is about time now they start to avail themselves to speak to the public. Why are you doing that? Because in this administration, this is an administration that have come to, as per what is supposed to be to govern the country. But since it's a Senate, what is being portrayed is different from what the constitutional mandate given them. So this regime has become more in a form that they've become more accusing. They are accusing more or even past government officials than the work that they are supposed to do. Okay. So in this case, it is important because Abu, like I said, I'm one person who would view that whenever you keep communication, whenever you don't have the right kind of communication with whatever audience that you have, you leave room for speculation. Okay. So it is always important that whether something is said about you and you know from your conscience that what is being said about you is not truth, even if you believe that you hold that view, it is important for you to come because due to the gullibility of our society, not many of Liberians will be able to go to do their fast check. How many of us are utilizing the Freedom of Information Law? We don't care about that. So whenever somebody says something about this person, automatically the guys hold that. So now it has become open.
But do you agree that the action against former Minister Tuer could qualify as a witch hunt instead of a genuine prosecution of corruption? Because the government seems to be leaving from the initial allegation about this unauthorized security expenditure, that 2 million, something that they've been going to quote on, and they're bringing new ones up because you're not even exhausted this one. They're talking about the COVID-19 rise,
and all of that.
And graciously, the man revealed some documentation, so which accuses this very government of even taking $1 million from that COVID-19 fund. So nobody knew about.
So the thing is, like I was saying, all of these things are always important. That Minister Tuer has seen it prudent to come out to speak. Former Minister Tuer have seen it prudent to come out to speak. But quite frankly, the public would not know that what the government is doing is a witch hunt, except you, as the accused, gave the public reason to believe that what the government is doing is a witch hunt. Now, in this case, with this 30 million, quote unquote, that was given to the WFP for household feeding and all of that. Now, not many of us understand that Minister Tuer, but then as Minister of Finance, never had control of the money. You know, when people here say, "Oh,
no, it was made public." When that money, it was made public. The government said they were going to, turn it over to WFP. Yeah, I can remember.
But not many of us Liberians now understand. So
there was a steering committee.
Wilson Tape was heading that. But the money that was given was not in government cover. Government had no right? Government had no or power on how to use that money that was given, the 30 million. So now, the WFP, according to Minister Twe, utilized 28 point something percent of that money, and at least a little around 2 million or nearly 2 million was left. Now, this the current finance minister has begun using that money for what they call a school feeding program. Now, they've begun using that money, even though they've not called for audit. And there are speculations that, according to Stanton, that the government will prosecute the former finance minister for that. So, why the prosecution?
So the question is,
firstly, you have to.
So let me read the two communications that were shared. Yeah. Right, the first one is dated February 14, 2025, Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. This decision demonstrates our joint. I think this should be second. So let me read February 14. All two is dated February 14, but let me read this one first. This one is from the Ministry of Finance and directed to were representative and country director World Food Program, Madam Mary Njoroji, World Food Program Monrovia. Dear Madam Njoroji, reallocation of remaining 1.1 million from the COVID-19 response fund. Right, this is the communication that was written February. Right, by this government, under this government. Was it Gafon there? I think it was Gafon. 2025. Yeah. Gafon took over in 2024, I think October. Right? So Gafon wrote asking WFP to what? To reallocate the remaining $1.1 million of the COVID fund. Mm-hmm. So now, they did not write to it. That is clear to indicate that this money was not in Tue's possession or the government of Liberia possession. Rather, it was with WFP. And it reads further, I present my compliment and write to confirm the government of Liberia's decision regarding the reallocation of the remaining US 1.1 million savings from the COVID-19 response funds currently held by the World Food Program. Mm-hmm. Following our recent discussions, the government has agreed that 20% of the total remaining funds amounting to US $234,350 will be allocated to support the capacity strengthening of the National Homegrown School Feeding Program based on the agreed work plan. 2. The remaining 80% amounting to US $937,395.41 will be returned to the government of Liberia and allocated to the Ministry of Agriculture. The ministry has committed to utilizing these funds to procure locally produced food from Liberian farmers, which will be directed to the homegrown school feeding program as well. What kind of thing is so? So this is misapplication. Mm-hmm. The money was for COVID-19 recovery. Then the Baka government taking the money from there, say give us the money, we won't do the other money. So Lala justification. Mm-hmm. So can they give us report of the execution of this money towards this purpose? We kindly request that the WFP transfer the government's portion of the fund to the following account number GOL, General Revenue, Fiscal Year 2025, account number 160-200-7163, bank name, Central Bank of Liberia, branch name, address, Central Bank of Liberia, PO Box, blah, 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 Monrovia, Liberia, Ashman Street, Monrovia, Liberia. SWIFT code is there, and this is it. Communication number 2, this decision demonstrates our joint commitment to strengthening local agricultural markets and supporting smallholder farmers while addressing the nutritional needs of school children. We appreciate WFP's ongoing partnership in these efforts and look forward to continue collaboration in achieving our shared objectives. Please accept the assurances of my highest esteem. Sincerely, blah blah blah. Augustine Peye Gafuan, Minister. So Gafuan took the money. Gafuan took the money and redirected the COVID money. So if somebody should be answering questions directly about the COVID money now, should be Gafuan and Mr. Boakai on what did they do with the remaining 100 and some more thousand, 1 million and some more thousand United States dollars.
So that is the meat of this entire conversation, right? At least it is confirmed that money was there, and you requested the use of that money for another purpose. Now, why didn't you wait to do an audit of the entire process, establish the facts before requesting the usage of that money, or deciding to prosecute people if there is any form of malpractice? So, but now threatening to arrest people without investigation being done, and it is proven on record that the government has begun using the nearly 2 million of the remaining funds. Then I think the government, this is where now I would stand to believe and stand with the former finance minister that this is a witch hunt, because the guys have not done anything to prove that there was actually financial malpractice. Now, you've not done so. If anybody should be answering questions,
so the question: where Stanton got his confidence from? Where he got the information from? That Tuer will be arrested. I agree. He has people in the government. He paid for a lot of them to get their job. I know that for sure. Stanton bribed for a lot of people to get a ministerial job, so they owe him that. But again, assuming that we are speaking, without any knowledge, because we want to know, holding all of the all of the factors constant. Who's telling Stanton? Who's assuring Stanton that Tuer is going to be arrested? What's the merit, right? On what merit was Tuer be arrested, right? And when the record shows the government admit through these letters that indeed the balance COVID-19 money that was there was 1 million and change. So that means 28 million and change were utilized, right, during the process. And the government wrote a communication, right? The government did not question, right? The government did not question the expenditure of the 28 plus million.
Even if the government is
asking, get all the money.
Even if the government is to question or was to question the usage of that money, Abu, the questioning will be directed to the WFP.
Of course, because
which was in actual possession of the money. They were the custodian of the money. They were expending the money, telling us how it will be used. So it is disappointing for a certain group of individuals to just sit continuously and malign the character of reputable persons. We understand that this thing is about, the first thing was about getting George Weah and his legs out of power. Now it has happened. The fight is, the next thing now is to ensure that Liberians still do not see, even with the lapses from this government, the next fight is to ensure that Liberians still do not see Weah and his legs as the best alternative comparatively.
Okay, this is the game of politics. People don't spoon feed you with milk and honey. It's up to you. So Tuer and their like can go crying baby for as much as they want to. They have to, one thing I think Tuer and the likes will have to understand, this is politics, and United Party and the folks not going to spoon feed you. If you thought you were giving them money and they are under no moral obligation to return you that favor, right? They are basically supposed to be protecting their political interests, and that's how they are doing it. This is their definition of protecting their political interests. So you can be crying baby, right? You came here, you all have all of the turnover notes. You have refused to talk to your media friends and share it with us as we draft the conversations and the narrative. You've decided to shield your friends and let them the honeymoon period. So if they start coming after you, they're not our business. Me, I can tell all of you for a fact, right? They're not our business. Y'all go through that, your friend, and y'all go through the process. We just want justice, right? The only thing we will not support is for somebody to want to just and baselessly go after people. And I mean, we should discourage that, because you know what, this will be dangerous precedents. If we said that, there will be dangerous precedent, right? And we are keen on the kind of example we set for our country going forward. And so, with that said, we can move to the second, which is the transitional justice thing. Hagar.
Yeah, you want to give money? I'll check up to see where we can give money to.
Yeah, that we're going to do in a jiffy. So, right groups praise the reburial of Doe and Turber, but urge inclusive reconciliation and support for War Crimes Court Office. So there are two key points that has been identified as hypocritical in the president's pursuit of genuine reconciliation and national healing or closure. And these hypocrisies are dangerous, and it must be highlighted and, of course, exposed so that the president take cue, because he's not using his personal resources. He's using the Liberian people dollars. For just as the TRC process looked and appear fruitless, because we do not see the actual dividend of that whole TRC process. When people were accused, no action has been taken, blah, blah, blah. The nation continued to renege on the implementation of the TRC recommendations and all of that. So we see the president embark on another fruitless, quote unquote, partisan, enticement spree, and mixing that up or confusing it as a genuine national reconciliatory effort. And these things are hypocritical and they need to be spoken about. So these right groups are inclusive of several, full-fledged civil society organizations, and of course, War Crime Campaigner in Liberia. We'll go into the details of it, but let's give our money, right? Let's pay some money quickly to our winners on star 255 star 1 # is the short code, and you're good. For just $50 Liberian dollars this morning, you qualify to win 5,000 Liberian dollars. We're having these conversations here on Freedom 87.9, and so let's see where we are. Okay, let's see where we are this morning. Oh, we are not there yet. Right, I think you have to go back the same way. Yeah. Right. Oh, okay. I see. Okay. So yeah, sorry, folks. Let me pay the people money. We're to the wrong place. Okay. So let's. Okay. Somebody have just won. This is the phone, right? All right. So star 255 star 1 # is the short code, and you're good to go. So let's give out the first resources here quickly this morning. Okay, it's 6. What is going on? The phone is behaving like Baka reconciliation. Hey, the old man. So hello. Chongo said the old man down from the camera, JD, and all of them saying, then you will go do, we'll make sure that again. So go ask you, go sit down. President Chong will make sure you will make sure you that. We'll make sure Benin on our papa. You gotta go to a serious thing. Yeah, everybody's on the edge, worried about what sort of representation Sleepy Joe is gonna go make for us. Sleepy Joe. Okay, so let's. What happened? I hope you guys can call the number because they phone here. You gotta even recharge the phone. I think so. I think the guys did not recharge this phone. 5. Okay, let's see. Star 255 star 1 star 255 star 1 #, and you dial, you enter, you select the currency, whether US or Liberian dollars, and then of course You enter your mobile money password. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. You're live. This is Freedom FM. You're live on the radio.
Yeah, thank you. Freedom is okay. Philip.
What is your name?
Philip Nipan.
Philip, you won here before, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because the system shows that. How many times you played this morning?
I played 8 times.
8 times. That's how much dollars?
$400.
$400. Okay, you've won $4,000. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's already on your phone. You've seen it, right?
No, I have not checked it.
Okay, please do, man. It already there, brother.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Philip has won $4,000. You too can be another winner on *255*1# is the code. Philip spent $400. He won $4,000. That's $3,600 profit margin, right? Like I said, so you can play another 8 times, and then you stand a chance. So we hold it right there. No, it ain't reached yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is that. So leading Liberian rights group have praised the reburial of Samuel Doe, which I have a problem with, but it's within the purview, and ex-president William Tolbert, 2 ex-Liberian presidents, from the perspective of they see the occupy, understandable, but the whole conundrum of the war and everything that happened, victims are victims, right? They must be treated equally, especially from the perspective of the state, and blah, blah, blah. And there has to be a general national program that honors everybody and what have you. That's my thought. But have urged an inclusive reconciliation and healing process and support for Office of War and Economic Crimes Court of Liberia. Hypocritically, the president did not put any cent in the budget for the War and Economic Crimes Court, right? Workers and people who were hired there has been complaining, I think for 5 or 6 months, they have not taken pay. So the president's commitment to national healing and reconciliation is not holistic, rather it's selective. He wants to appease the elite, right, and leave all of us out. Your man died, your auntie died, your son died, your daughter died, your relative were killed, they were buried in mass grave. Look at the folks in Nimba, for example. All these things are happening. So what has the state done, right? Restorative transitional justice, right? Transitional justice that focuses on the victim mostly is the one that must be embraced. It is the one that's being celebrated across the world. But the one that seeks to select, right, and satisfy and appease the elite because of certain approval that you want, right? So you go for William Aratobo, you say, oh, that means I gave William Aratobo befitting burial. So the William Aratobo family or those group of elite will see you differently and honor you and celebrate you, right? You go for Doe, you say, oh, in order to buy sentiment for politics. So all of the action appears political to me. Waka seems to seek political dividend from all of these things. This is not a holistic, genuine, and all-inclusive endeavor that addresses the hurts of the war period. Right? Families were destroyed. Homes, mosques, churches were burned down. How has the state gone ahead to repair the damages? Reparation may not all of the time be giving physical cash to people, but we can institute austerity measures, right? We can design subsidy programs, right, that addresses institutions, communities, to help them repair the damages that were caused. Then everybody will feel included. But with what is happening, this is a continuation of the very discrimination that plunged the country into war when a certain group of people is treated differently from the rest of the other people. We do not expect this thing to be coming from an old man who's president of the country and hails from way in the forest, the Wonsonga forest. What kind of man is this man? And then when you talk about it, and his bootlickers will come and they try to be like that and all of that. But you see, Mr. Bwaka is not infallible, and damn, he's not even going to be anywhere near that. So for those of you who think he cannot be corrected or he cannot err, Bwaka has made the most dangerous errors since he assumed the presidency than any president in the history of the world. This is how blank-headed he appears, right? Leading Liberian human rights organizations have praised him, right, and the government for the reburial. However, they are saying emphasis needs to be focused on what? Emphasis needs to be focused on reconciliation and the war crime code to hold people like Bodneke accountable for the crimes they committed. That thing he been doing, I not baptized, I preach your man, that one there, that he ain't God been in there. Right? But when you kill somebody, man, you kill other people's parents, you ate their heart here, you're on camera admitting to all of these things, and you think you just supposed to take bow, you pull on your arm, and then everybody go sit down and forget it. No, it doesn't work that way. This is not how justice is served. Right? He needs to take full responsibility. Honor the laws, or the international laws, right? There are penalties to these acts. The guys kill people who were not involved in the war, civilians, children were killed. So to have a notorious killer masquerading the corridors and being protected by the state is troubling, it's disturbing, psychologically torturing, even as we are. And that same president says, by the burial of Doe, the burial of Tobo, then that means everybody's supposed to be reconciled and everybody's supposed to go sit down, and they wasted thousands, if not millions of taxpayers' money on a useless occasion. They say they're having national reconciliation and healing and blah blah. What is healing, Mr. President? Look at the country. Look at the country. You have not even managed to heal the living. You have divided the country. You're going after people. People have labor in this country. They've struggled, right? They've built businesses. They've built institutions. They're empowering Liberians. Look at what you just did to John Uboti. Look at what you just did to John Uboti. Look at what you've just done to even Musa Ability that we are coming to speak to shortly. Well, why are you taking their contract? Because you fail as a human being in this country to establish anything for yourself. So you're going after other people's establishment, breaking them down, right? Leaving Liberians jobless only because of your political vendetta. And then you call yourself reconciler. Why are you trying to claim something that you are far apart from? You are 360 degrees and the opposite of a reconciler. That's not who you are. You're scheming, right? You're using these means to steal from the Liberian people in bad time. You're failing. Look at the country. You're not governing, right? Gangsterism has replaced leadership and governance. You went to the Capitol building, right? You've desecrated that whole institution. Look at how our legislature look today, right? Look at how it looked today. So terrible, right? Look at what you're doing to Marvin Cole. Why are you denying opposition voices their just benefit, right? Their constitutional immunities. You're denying lawmakers. You're using your process in the legislature to deny lawmakers their constitutional immunities, and you call yourself reconciler. Who are you? You're dividing the country, right? You're putting this nation on the brink of chaos and disturbance. And you are there using war law to threaten peaceful Liberian citizens. And I just read something. Bodneke is saying he will challenge the July 17 protest. Let him bring a hay osa, right? Let Boaka tell you must bring your hay osa. Stupid man, you killer, human being heart eater. You fully man, you sit down, you won't be threatening people. And a labor can permit that. Your colleague war law in other countries are hiding themselves. But you have the guts to open your mouth and be speaking nonsense about decent characters, right? Civilized people in this town, because your NSA people giving you money. Where is Bodneke getting the money from to pay this militia group that he's operating? Where is Bodneke getting the money from? Boaka, you're using our state resources to pamper militia. This is what you're doing. And we hope our international friends are listening. This is real. You go and investigate. Where is Bodneke getting the money from? Through NSA, they are paying the men thousands of dollars monthly to pay militias, give them cutlass, give them guns to intimidate and harass and terrorize opposition and critical voices in the country. And you're talking about reconciliation. Here, guy.
Oh, you're right. You're right. The thing is, this old man continued to expose himself. And for some of us, we are not surprised on the trend at which things are running in this country. Abu, don't forget that we had this continuous noise about war crimes code doing Buakai's let's say Buakai's days in opposition. And up to the ascendancy, up to his ascendancy as president of the republic, but then when Nimba had Senator Prince Johnson at life, and because of the fear, because of the notion that this old man and his group of people had about Senator Johnson, that he's a warlord, in fact he's still capable, he was still capable to take away the life of the president and all of that, those guys shielded Buakai from Senator Johnson, Abu. The actual happening was the recording that we normally play here, or is the recording that we normally play here, where Senator Johnson, but then the late Senator Johnson was heard crying wolf, how he was being treated by this old man. It was, but then that Buakai saw the issue of the establishment of war and economic crimes code important to our country. Now, since the death of this of Senator Johnson,
hey, 1 minute. This is an update. Let me just break that for you. 10 allies inform government of 3-day enough is enough protest. So that means the protest is going to be for 3 days.
3 days instead of
3 days. Enough is enough protest. Demand justice, good governance, blah blah blah. So the July 17th protest has taken different turn. It's going to go for 3 days according to the organizers. Go ahead.
So this government made the issue about establishing a war crimes code.
Sorry. So it's going to be staged a nationwide 3-day peaceful protest from July 15 to 17.
Okay.
So it starts on the 15th to the 17th.
Okay. So this government made the issue about war crimes code to be like, yeah, we'll do it. But I was shocked and I felt sick when I listened to Buakai apologize to Liberians who lost their family members during the war and call for reconciliation and said, in fact, we should now unite to move forward. After all those noise about establishing war crimes code, for which the late Senator Johnson was always and continuously attacked by hierarchies from the party and its alliance. It is terrible that today this old man is telling us, yeah, come together, yeah. Even we have said it before, we said no. We have said it before. We made all of the denigrating statements. We made it appear like he was a facilitator of the war. So because of that, he never wanted to prioritize the issue of establishing war crimes code. He said today, now that Buakai is president, that he's understanding, or because Senator Johnson had died, so now it has become a point now where we can say, let's reconcile our country. Let's forget about what happened and come together. So no more talking about war crimes code. And that's one reason you see, Abu, this old man government has paid absolutely nothing to this war crimes code or stuff he set up. The office of the war crimes code that he set up. He's not giving support to that because that was a lip service to intimidate Senator Johnson.
To the point where Jala Babu now is even fronting, he won't go on the bench.
Yeah. He won't go on the bench. So it was just about going after a particular individual that he feared. And this is it. This is where we are today. Senator Johnson is gone. War crimes code has died down. Buakai is now talking about reconciliation.
So that means they were actually targeting Senator Johnson. I don't know how
you ever heard Buakai spoke about reconciliation over war crimes code? Now today we're hearing all that one, and that is where we are.
Okay. So yeah, let's take calls, right, on the two subjects and see what you think. 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 886 500 104 in the next 10 minutes. Right. So let's hear from you, Liberians, whether it's the war crime code issue or the Samuel Tour revelation. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Leroy.
Go ahead, Leroy. Let's hear you.
Well, I'm. Hello.
Hello, Leroy. You're there. Go ahead.
Yeah, sometimes when other people speak, and when you are not good at listening, you just say what you want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, President Weah is always a humanitarian and a peacemaker. But when he talked about bringing Liberians together, other people had it like, and then he's trying to compromise.
Mm-hmm.
After President Obama has intimidated other people, it is now that he's talking about reconciliation.
But do you think the reconciliation is general, is all inclusive, or I mean, what's your view about the way the president is going about his own reconciliation?
It is not reconciliation; it's intimidation.
Okay, it's intimidation. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Good morning. Let's hear you, sir. You're live on the radio.
This is someone I was calling from the show.
Go ahead, Harris.
You see, Abu, pertaining to the single package, the support talking about. Listen to one of your sister radio the morning, OKFA, on the Foreign Ministry call and confirm that Chulate, the money was transferred.
Okay.
The government people that program was never the solution.
So the money was somebody called to find out that the money was transferred?
Yeah, Chulate. Check your record. I'm listening to representative from Foreign Administrative money on OKFA.
Okay, so that means the Bwaga government actually took the money from WFP.
Yeah, the money was transferred to that.
All right, thank you very much. The facts will come out. Good morning. Let's hear you, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Otis Badri. I do join you from Martinez.
Go ahead, Otis.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for the show, people. Abu, in a country where you have a reckless and a corrupt president, that's why you see, you talk about reconciliation, then you created a scene for war crime code, now pre-judging is passed. Now, no war crime code in Liberia again. This is a country the Liberia people wanted.
Okay.
So, this is why we just got to pray to God. Thank you.
All right, thank you. But we get president now. Don't call the president. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Abu. Let me say good morning to Hika. This is Edmond Carr. That is my disappointment with the people of Nima County because they are not showing to Bwaka to know that what happened to their kingsman or godfather.
But it seemed they were misled, just as the entire nation was misled. So how do you blame them or be disappointed? They were just misled.
They should stop punishing anything that is associated with Bwaka.
How are they going to do that?
Anything that they put up in Nima County, that Bwaka is come around, that Bwaka is ever closer to, they should punish them equally their own Jeremiah own. Oh yeah, because you should come out as a man to say to Bwaka that this thing about reconciliation of war crime code, you are just doing it because you want to target to the point just now it is over. You are cosmetically flying around and say you want to have reconciliation with people. Who are those over there? The elite. Did you see any family there with placard in their hand with their daughter or their father pictures on it?
Okay, thank you very much. Say the Nima people should target anything that comes from Bwaka. Look, good morning.
Yeah, I'm Jackson Wallow from brother. One thing I can say to people, you're supposed to balance when you're doing it. Now, people can't learn. When Jackson was coming, he said he was a freedom fighter. Freedom fighter king is beginning to kill people. He has to come and rescue. You must think about Jackson before you can accept that person.
Okay, so it's always the opposite. It's always the opposite of what they say, right?
Opposite of what they say. So, like, people can't learn. Two of them is going to do today. The next time when they get power, they will not be on money. They're going to be there giving them money. They thought they were coming to eating honey. So that the time for them, next time when they get power, they will know how to operate.
Okay, next time when they get power, they know how to operate. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Abu.
Good morning, let's hear you.
My name is Kelly Kabia calling from Rafi Highway.
From Rafi Highway.
Yeah, my man, this is what they're talking about reconciliation. I got Darcy F. Go. What he's doing.
Okay.
I got Tomo Kuyapa. I got TK Wusadi. Then he talking about Samuel Kanye that kill our people.
If they think you're going to dig more wounds instead of healing wounds,
seriously, birthday, brother. I'm from Nima. All our
I know.
This Samuel Kedo man kill all of them. They used to be not celebrating Samuel Kedo boom. It made no sense, but when it play brother, they will bring our one in body.
So that means after Nima people get the manpower, then the man honor the man for dumping all your people in the mass grave.
Yeah, right. That's what they want. So we play brother, but they're about to watch her. If you wait for 2029, he got it wrong.
Okay. All right. Thank you very kindly. These things, they are getting very, very interesting.
Good morning, Abu, and good morning to many listeners.
Go ahead, my brother.
You see, Abu, the Unity Party, more especially Joseph Boakai, he never showed gratitude to people who helped him along the way. He had never been that kind of person. He had never been grateful to people who helped him. Madam Sally took that man on a checkerboard and took him to the Capitol building and made him vice president.
You guys did a man on checkerboard?
Yeah, he used to be playing checker.
All right, go ahead.
He used to play checker. You saw him. In fact, they took him from the playing bush where you saw him playing when he came and sat on the checkerboard and playing checker. Madam Sally took him from there.
I want your CDC sentiment there.
No, that sentiment. Eddie Sloan about Wednesday. All the wood that was used on Eddie Sloan housing here were bought from Mr. Burger. No, it's a clear fact.
Baba, man. Baba. That will go ahead. Let's hear you.
Good morning, Abu.
From Bele go to who? Good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, my name is Daniel Sagi, and I joined this morning for 2 communities. Chairman, is a prediction with a people be low. We have people instead of reconcile with. They are in the country with you. You're not reconciling with them. People that put less in you to come first. But people that you left today that you breathe it through. You look at it, get back against them, and you say you won't reconcile the country. So who was there for you when your web 33 or 10 was on your web collecting the parking fee?
Y'all lead the burger from this. What kind of people here? David, my man. Forget about that plane story. Yeah,
you know, like they just is president of Mr. Burger, who he was before becoming what he is. You know, what was done to Senator Johnson, Boakai strategized this way in order to get rid of Senator Johnson. So you heard him at the ministerial complex apologize. If you had this plan, a genuine reconciliation plan was on your mind, but then why you choose to set an office of war crime code? Why you pay some senators to sign resolution to establish war crime code?
Then you could just, call one big press conference and apologize. Everybody finish. Everybody go sit down. How you get other people hundreds of thousands, right?
Exactly.
Then you dignify and rebury their own family. Then you leave other people and say, "Oh, you're Leo God, you're sorry."
Abu. All the people that Boakai buried is people. Some to kill people. So you are just to call those people, they themselves to come to apologize to the Liberian people because their father killed Liberians as well. So if at all he means genuine reconciliation, the Doe family should apologize to the Liberian. The Toba family should also apologize to the Liberian.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Let's hold you there and take more calls. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, we lost that caller, so let's take Fode. Fode is here. Fode, good morning.
Good morning, Abu, and let me say good morning to Hega.
Good morning, Fode.
Well, Abu, the conversation you're having this morning is a very interesting one, most especially when it comes to the quote-unquote reconciliation. Reconciliation is not an event, Abu. It cannot be attended where you go sit, drink, have few minutes conversation, and you say, no, that's not how you heal the home. When we say 14 years of civil war, it's a very long process, losing over 250,000 people. So Abu, the entire publicity stunt was aimed to undermine the entire war crime code process. So the question is, you don't have reconciliation when justice...
Do you mean the events that were held recently? signal the closure of the whole War Crimes Code debate?
But that is the essence. And
so,
the final
so
analysis.
That means there is no need for War Crime Code anymore. The
No. It is useless. It is not necessary. It would be a total waste of taxpayer money. But the first thing, there is no money in the budget for even War Crime Code. So yes, the entire War Crime Code was created as a scheme to eliminate on the late Prince Johnson. That's how much the United Party hits the people of Nimba. Their heroes were eliminated through the so-called War Crime Code. Abu, it's in Prince Johnson that have you heard Mr. Bwaka talking about War Crime Code? He would never talk about War Crime Code. So the final analysis of the entire War Crime Code was after the whole investigation when people have been prosecuted, then you now come to sit at the table of reconciliation.
You're making the whole thing to appear like particularly the War Crime Code debate was meant to just eliminate Senator Johnson.
But that is the fact in the country, Abu. It is a fact. When you say War Crime Code in Liberia, the only person people know about is Prince Johnson.
But the president, one can argue that the president has not disbanded the War Crime Code office yet. So for us, it's still in swing.
He's not supporting that.
Maybe
there's another lie. Also, here's another fact. Abu.
Quickly for the
Councillor Badu of the War and Economic Crime Code have said over 6 months all of the employees had not taken salary. If the president had get interested in War Crime Code, why would you not be paying the people? So Abu, quickly, just to conclude, we believe in our man. The current travel of Mr. Bwaka and to America is a summit. It is not a so-called summit. Okay. There is a difference between a summit and a summit. Okay. Bwaka is going to answer a question. So Bwaka is going to answer a question for why he is doing business with the Chinese. As a matter of fact, when you read from the African newspaper today, it said that Liberia is a China deep state. Trump allies are now informing President Donald Trump that Liberia prefer to do business with China. And remember, the same government hired a orator that said that Liberia have not benefited anything from the U.S. So, Mr. Bwaka, I pray for an open interview with Donald Trump. I really pray for him so he can do it.
All right, thank you very much. And I mean, there is no secret about that. It's clear all over, it's written everywhere. The Chinese have taken over the economy, and the government has clearly demonstrated the desire to working with the Chinese and blah, blah, blah. Could that impede, chances of Bwaka making some inroads in Washington? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Let me say thank you for the discussion. The news Washington Scoop, and I call from Israel.
Go ahead, Washington. Oh, we've lost Washington. So yes, it's 5 minutes after. We're just awaiting our guest. He's already on his way. At any moment from now, once he joins, we will certainly move into our conversation. Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm fine. Let's hear you, my brother.
Yeah, my name is James Potter, and I'm the chairman of the Veteran Assembly District 16 in Nikuta, and I hail from Grand Cedar County.
Okay.
You know, when you talk about the burial of something, quote unquote, everybody talking that. Some people again say, well, Bwaka has to do that because they will kill people.
No, I'm not sure people are just against it, but people are just speaking contrary view.
No, but listen, people listen to somebody who hails from the name and say, don't kill our people here once. Bwaka can take the life.
Yeah, no. Because they're saying there are people that Datu needed to be honored. So if you're just honoring Do, as if to say he's some kind of saint, he's not because he too perpetrated mayhem.
Yeah, so I'm saying that nobody should say because of Bwaka and their people need to be buried. Every president that comes, they need to do it all. Everybody plays their part. Everybody kill people here.
Okay. So Bwaka should bury your own man, so that who will bury the Nimapo own man? People.
Well, that maybe somebody will come. The next president will come and do it. Who? Maybe you will bury them. If we mind that, they say you do this, you will do this. Say you do your own fire, you will do this. Let them forget. The only thing we need to pay attention is that to engage, to develop the country, to engage of the massive corruption that been carried out, which of course the country cannot develop because right now as we are looking at the government, roughly we can say they got 4 more years. They even just more years. The bottom 1 or 2 more years, it is an electoral period that you need to pay attention to.
Yeah, but they're not, my man, you're not going, they're not bury your own hero. The other people want their own hero to be buried too.
Yeah, so these are some of the things we're talking about. You understand me? So,
all right, thank you.
Yeah, good morning, Abu.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm calling from Johnson,
Victoria, go ahead.
Yes. You see, my brother, I want to tell you that people are still doing a total campaign. We say that men are not printing. You will not be the picture of that people. They may come from here and do it. That was the last editor, and they put it back to your pocket and put your bank account. They put the oil back to their experience. After they put me not drinking, they may break people down, they may destroy the country. You will not do not the country, you will tackle the country, the country, their experience. So those are around all year. What about their experience? They get there now. They think that they are able to touch their more clothes, their bubble now. So, the we went out of our money so low, we will not be full, we will not be stupid to go for even if you have your back on the ticket to it down. If you ever get on your ticket, Grandjida will not be full to go for them.
Okay, Grandjida will not be full. The poor Claire, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm going to share it alongside you guys on that. Well, this is Mohammed Donald Jr. And I do join you guys on the record of Aku. It's a correction. I'm a teacher.
Then what you go do to the poor haircut on?
No, that's why I work.
Oh, you working to the poor haircut on?
Exactly.
No, you're not supposed to be working, man.
No. That's my mother being a one. If you know I work there for my mother's moving. So if you know I work at the party headquarters.
The minute come and fire you, go ahead.
No, they can fire me. Okay, I will start the discussion. I'm mostly in from Local County, and Waka is doing free burial and what of you. And
yeah, from Local, the back do massacre.
Yeah. Also, according to the thing that I want to count, if I want to do my county, I want for Waka to rebury my former legend or
okay.
Because.
So, but who tell you say people putting in requests for?
No, because I was engaging people. I like mention you want to change his county. I want to count.
All right. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Good morning. Let's thank you, and then Hagar has gone to check out. Good morning.
Yeah, Abu, good morning. Let me say good morning to Hagar. Good morning to your listening audience this morning. My name is Ishmael Kumar, and I'm calling from Princeton. Yeah, Abu, the thing of reconciliation in our country is very powerful. But unfortunately, the government 100% worker is expected to do something that is a play. And also, in my mind, I think critical mind is a job to speak out, to be able to ensure that the workers can be called to order. But what we are seeing is that this president is actually wasting our resources. Now, for instance, this is a reconciliation, like we saw reburial of President Samakanyandu, somebody talking about reburial of President Trump. So I think my anyone who does, I think something like you war need to be reburied too. So I think what the president.
Well, your grandmother, who know your grandmother? Who know her? Nobody know her. The poor, that you know her, but the people don't know her. The poor burying their friend and they reburying their friend.
Okay, the issue here is they've seen that during nationality is there. They've seen that nationality that the rest of the people there. Now the thing is, I thought in my mind that the professional government would have come to power and say, okay, let's have a national memorial site, right? It would just initiate such a project where we will have a national memorial site that will reference our civil.
All right, thank you very kindly. That is when you're thinking generally. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm on the line, but I'm on New York credit.
Okay.
This is Washington, and I come from Houston. I will see this government is trying to campaign promises. Then the war, no power fight among any Liberian. The only thing we see here is political differences. Only this government, when they were in opposition, they were trying to bring that travel stuff. Saying the former president, President Weah, was training rebel as the host of the president do in Nigeria. All those things they were saying. But they promised that they were going to take the people of this country from poverty. There will be a lot of job opportunity. Our hospital were going to be improved. The road were going to be built. They don't want to do all those things. They're just talking about reconciliation. We are not fighting. Liberia are not fighting. There's no travel war yet. Let them focus on what they promised for the Liberian people. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, folks. The calls keep coming in. We're still awaiting the political leader of the Citizen Movement for Change, the latest political party on the block of Representative Musa Hassan Bilete. And of course, he has been making lots and lots of inroads lately. But let's take this break with Crime Stopper, and we will be right back.
It's about musical. There are crimes in many places, in every community, you know. You can see. So if you see crime, you report it. Don't take law in your hands for the right authority. Well, you can't take your law in. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a you must talk it, I mean you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Okay, Crime Stopper Liberia, folks. So we're here, right here on the Freedom Money Rise from Freedom 87.9, where we discuss the issues without fear nor favor. And yes, indeed. So it's going to be a conversation about the CMC. And Hagar, I think while we await the political leader by any which way, right, it's important for us to look at it, right? Over the weekend, we all witnessed a very mammoth turnout in Bon County, right? When the former NPP stalwart, initially I saw some guys saying CDC, Marvin Cole, and the man wasn't a sedition as in the Congress for Democratic Change, but he was a sedition as the Coalition for Democratic Change, which disintegrated after the election period. You remember all of the different parties left and assumed their respective identity, right, and individualities. So going forward, in fact, the NPP was 1 vote in, 1 vote out. However, he was part of the NPP that was in. So subsequently, He felt betrayed by the NPP, and then he left. When he left, he has been free thinking, and, political party and political action, but all of his actions has been with the opposition. He has been very firm as a strong opposition voice and a critical, person within the legislature, particularly checkmating and holding the governments accountable. Remember, they were all victims of the legislative coup that happened. So apparently, all of these culminated into his attraction for the CMC and, of course, the political leader Musa Hassan Belete at some point, who became the chairman of the Rule of Law Caucus. That they all were, it was a caucus established to defend their side, which is the former speaker Funati Kufa blocked, right? So apparently, the leadership, demonstrated by Musa, and all of that attracted Marvin, and he felt, okay, if I must consider a political home, I think I will have to do that with Musa. He has shown a whole different political leader and what it means to be a political leader of an institution and be there for the people. So he opted to join the CMC, and he just did not do that as one man and moving to a political party, but he was able to garner a very huge, an avalanche of Bongis, right? That we all saw on display. It was like campaign period. The turnout was huge, and I was astonished, to be frank. I was astonished to see how the CMC is gaining traction. Particularly, that means a lot of work has been put in just before the event. Come to think about it, particularly from the standpoint of Marvin Cole, he needed to demonstrate to his new suitors that, of course, he has the wherewithal, he has the command and control, he has what the CMC will need. In fact, the CMC can trust him. And subsequently, what did we see as a result of that? The political leader of the party declaring Bong County as the regional capital of the CMC. I think that was a victory for Bong, right? That was a victory for Bong. Aside from the understanding that, NPP credit is based to Bong, but Guinea in this dispensation, right? That level of foothold credited to the influence of one man speaks volume. So basically, what it's going to do going forward is going to present, a kind of mouth-watering political atmosphere come 2029, because with what Marvin has demonstrated in Bong County, right, in his crossover to the CMC, and if he's able to solidify that sufficiently, he's able to expand that, right, and create a significant foothold in Bong County for the CMC, is going to pose, a fierce competition to the establishment parties. For example, the NPP, the CDC, that has enjoyed a bit of dominance within the ranks and file of the Bong political spectrum, and of course the Unity Party, the ruling Unity Party, for the most part. So people like Prince Moy, people like Jewel Howard Taylor, if she still remains, and other strong political influential voices within the county, right, are beginning to have a whole new think, possibly, that, okay, there's a whole new challenge that's being born right here. And besides, it is not just one Bongi and pledging support and journey, right? But this man is domesticating his endorsement, he's domesticating his support, right? He's driving a grassroots mobilization towards, and this will mean, right, picking from the CDC base in Bong, picking from the NPP base in Bong, picking from the Unity Party base in Bong. Are they going to receive that resistance? How strong will it be? Looking at the party, the CMC, for example, looking at its political leader, looking at the way he goes about his politics, looking at his, his whole developmental agenda that goes along with his politics. He just does not carry the regular politics. We've seen for the past time now that Musa takes along development along, with his politics. So if Musa is engaging, if he enters a place and he's politicking, he enters there with development. You see road works going on. You see investment in farmers. You see all of these things. So now, understanding Bongis, they love to work, and of course they want the support and all of that. So if this party goes in there and begin to provide this, so what do you think? What's that going to mean for Marvin Cole? There's been this fight. The problem with Bon County, there was this fight about political godfather thing. No matter what, somebody said Prince Moy went and paid some pastors and other people, influential people. They organized a program and they call him political godfather. But what is the godfather if you cannot direct and the political conscience of the people, right? I think what really matters is your ability to woo the influence, to woo the people, right? To tell the people that this is where we're going, and then they follow you. That political capital, right, that you have to detect with the politics, the outcome of politics within that geopolitical space is what constitutes, a godfather in the sense of politics. It is not an honor or a title that's bestowed in my mind, right? But it is a title that's demonstrated by your ability to move the people so or so. And this is absolutely going to be the fight of it all, right? Well, I'm told the CMC is not only focused on Bonk, but I think from what we saw over the weekend, it is a good signal, right, to Musa. But its sustainability is key because, mind you, now I'm not sure the CDC is going to keep our hand folded. I'm not sure the UP is going to keep our hands folded. I'm not sure the NPP either going to keep our hands folded. And they are all going to tap on their bases already there. But it comes because there is this culture in Liberia that after election, the sustainability of the political offices in the county are serious problem. Musa and the CMC are a new phenomenon, are a new happening in the body politics. So they may have the zest, they may have the investment, and and all of that. So they will go in, they establish the party, create the traction, and all of that. Particularly the youth. The youths are more revolutionary. The youths are more liberal. The youths can be, anti-establishment, depending on, depending on whatever you make available in terms of directly intervening in, their welfare and well-being. For example, if you embark on youth empowerment programs, educational, scholarship scheme, capacity building, right? And all of those things, loan and other things that the youth see direct benefit towards them, right? They're able to take a decision to say, oh, okay, yes, I've always supported the United Party, but look, with what is happening, this won't benefit me directly. I'm going to the CMC. So could the CMC be using that as a means to establish herself as a tailway? Because the man who is coming is not an ignorant to the political atmosphere. He's unlike the Kumis. He's unlike the late Cassell, right? And the others who will come like 2 years to election, they'll enter the country and start to go out. No, this is man. This is a man that has been around, right? He has had his time with three of the most influential, dominant post-war political party in Liberia. The Unity Party, the Liberty Party, and of course, the CDC, right? He has played a significant role with either of those parties since after the war in doing all of our electoral process. So he has a bit of experience and understanding with the internal workings of these parties. And he has come from there to say, you know what? I believe we have to establish an alternative, especially in the face of a CDC UP back and forth. Let's have a tailway for our people. And I believe I'm rightly placed. And if you agree with those analysis, you can also state that. But I believe we can properly structure a tailway, and the people will understand with a blend of all of the experiences from the other side. Could that be a guarantor that, of course, the CMC will be well placed, unlike the ANC of Mr. Cummings, who continue to struggle right? Unlike even the MDR that has also continuously struggled to sell itself beyond the borders of Nimba County. It is important. Unlike even the ACO that has been around for so long, but still grappling to move beyond, right, a community of people, right, to extend beyond. So the question now becomes, can the CMC break down that chain from the Unity Party, CDC, back and forth? You either have to be UP or you be CDC. I mean, in terms of the conclusive political decision making in the country. So when we all go splinter, doing the first one, we vote. After the first one will come, we settle down to CDC or UP, right? Mm-hmm. So now the man says no. So we're going to provide a formidable alternative for the elections and the people of Liberia in 2022. You've listened and you've lived the Unity Party debate, their arguments, and of course, their experiences. You've also lived the CDC argument, their experiences and all that for the past 6 years, and now you have the UP again, right? So we are telling you, you can squeeze. I don't know how they can say. I mean, you can make coconut to produce, lemon juice for yourself, right? Lemon is always going to be lemon. Coconut is always going to be coconut. But look, we are a whole new agenda that encompasses and corrects all of the misgivings of all of these parties that continue to keep us down, even after 20 some more years since the cessation of hostility in Liberia. It is a great conversation, and there's always been this. And many a times, Liberia will call on the radio and say, you know what, at this point, let's do away with the Unity Party and the CDC. But then the question comes, to go where? ANC? ANC has struggled to leave the confine of her political party headquarters, the few human beings that can be there, to garner vote beyond that number. The ANC continue to struggle. I don't know whether it's a personality clout deficiency that they have, right? Or is their policy that is not, domesticated sufficiently to see the Liberian people see themselves into it and buy the idea. Something there, no matter how they tweak it, but it has always become difficult. Somebody who have thought of the Labour Party, but with how events unfolded in the 2023, it appears clearly like the Labour Party lose it, and now she has to be a feeder party to other political party within the conversation. Higa.
Yes, it's good as we push towards 2029. We are going to see all of these things happen. But okay, I hope I'm okay. So, like I said, it's good as we push towards 2029. We are going to see all of these things and continue to follow up on the political field of our country. I followed the program over the weekend held in Bon County. And as part of that, Senator Marvin Ko, who himself is a mover, has promised that between now to December, the CMC Bon County chapter is going to be officially launched. And he has said he has called on supporters there to ensure that at least the CMC can accumulate a membership of at least 50,000 between now to December. So let's wait to see. Bon County is one of those.
Is it attainable in your mind?
Yes, it is. Looking at
how the CMC,
looking at the population size of the county, and looking at how strategic and developmental the CMC team have been.
But wait 1 minute, because the 50,000 you're talking about, they're going to be recruited from other parties. Does the CMC has the debate to take people from CDC, UP, and NPP, for example?
So it is just about changing the narrative, Abu. People want to go for the new thing, especially when it is considered as the better alternative, the better option for them. They want to go for it. So it is attainable. There are people. There are still undecided Liberians there who are not supporters of any political party, and based on the ideology of the CMC and what the party is able to push to them, it could trigger them to say, hey, I'm declaring my membership for this party. And looking at how, though even though some of us we've had some issues with how the CMC, how other things are being done. But that one, that conversation will further expand on in subsequent time. But it's important that at least the CMC is getting out, reaching out there for the first time, and let not just see this one as political showmanship. I hope it can be a genuine conversation.
But what happened in Bonn was a strong message. It was a big message.
Absolutely. It was a message that was sent not just to Liberians, but let's say not just to people in Bonn County. Mind you, now there are people in Bonn County too who themselves have some political interest tomorrow, and they've kept the county hostage in terms of development. So now somebody going there now to open the eyes of these people on development. What it's going to do is going to push whosoever that consider themselves as political fathers or godfathers or whatever. It is going to push them to ensure that they change the narrative of their conversation and how they intend to govern the people of Bonn County.
And how they intend to govern the people of Bonn County. So beyond Bonn, let's go to Nimba, that many have thought, even my very self here thought, would have been a home for the CMC with this Bonn invasion, I like to call it, the invasion of Bonn. The devil's advocate. Could it be that the CMC just did not get the requisite foothold in Nimba and they're trying to create an alternative?
So Abu, in Nimba politics have always been trouble last, and you and I know that. And on several occasions we cite here, we talk about things that have happened in the country, how Nimbayans continue to see politics in general. So now the CMC navigating its way through the political landscape of our country, of Nimba, is something that is possible but difficult. Yes, it's possible but difficult. There are Liberians.
No party can survive truly there in the presence of the NDR.
So what is going to people who?
But you can position yourself as
alternative. People who I today consider as the alternative in the country, did not just ascend to that overnight. That's something. It's a gradual process, and like the CMC have started cutting across the country, developmental initiatives in other parts, not just in District 7, but in other parts of the country and all of that. What it's going to do is it's going to continuously ring bell in the minds of those Nimbayans. Should we just go for the tribalism or we go for development, which is important to our group?
We got on the tribal front, forget it. You don't want to vote for Musa, understandable, but we're saying this is a vehicle, right? It is a national political party. This is a vehicle, right, that leads you to progressive developmental, achievements, unlike the one that have always used your vote, right, to enrich individuals, like the MDR has always done, right? Everybody will go. They want to go. I saw an article with Gompu Kargon, right, questioning
the loyalty of those
who
benefited from Senator
exactly
Johnson.
Right. So these are very interesting conversations because, mind you, lately also we've seen Gompu Kargon in very close proximity with Musa Hassan Belete, right? Could it be something is cooking also between them?
There is something. I have had a conversation with Gompu on other issues, and Gompu is one person who respects tradition.
Okay.
And he's one person who is grateful, and trust me, it is because of his gratitude that led him to being removed today as a lawmaker of Nimba County. So there are conversations that we've had behind the scene and all of that. He's considering other issues and things, but it shows that between now to 2029, I can say he will lay on the side of the CMC. Trust me on this. Yeah.
How weighty would that be?
Gompu is one formidable candidate in the Geo belt. You can decide whatever you want to do, but you can't take that away from him. In as much as he did not get the support, yes. But Abu, there were things.
Does the influence extend beyond that district?
Of course, most definitely.
Gompu attract beyond his district limit.
Gompu is somebody who have set a mark in Nimba. Like I said, if not for the political fight involving Senator Johnson and now Vice President Kung and all of that. Gompu won the election in his country in Nimba based on the first ballot. But until what happened, and we all know, even videos came out of people who had to get the ballots, throw them away, damage them, and throw them in water and all of that. But Gompu got a strong stake in the Geo Belt, like I said, not just in the Geo Belt, but even in District 1. Gompu is becoming one because he has been a businessman, but currently he's basing now in Ganta, where he's doing his business and looking at how generous he is to others and all of that. It could also mean something in terms of deciding the political fate of Ganta. So let's wait to see, like I said, between now the 2029, maybe 2027, too many things will interplay and we get to understand.
Because Marvin Cole has certainly set the bar for the CMC in Bong already.
So we just need somebody to set it.
Can Gompu, joining the CMC put us?
And also don't forget now we currently have the former county inspector. Mark Blue, who contested on the CMC ticket.
But Mark did not show popularity in the election.
So
he failed the CMC actually.
So Abu, in election, that is something. The election, especially as it happened by election, we
not necessary to have won, but if you look at the number he accumulated, right? I mean, it's not something. Yeah, you could say, but at the end of the day, other people had to rally. But that kind of showing dominance and command, I'm not sure from the political lens, you can count on Mark Blion exclusively for that. I mean, the CMC still has a whole lot of work to do in Nimba if she must consider herself, a kind of competition in Nimba politics.
So Mark is somebody I would like I said, right? In elections, when the minds of the people are made up, especially looking at the trouble way our country, our people can go. We all know what interplay during the previous by-elections in the country. So that for me, I don't think we can abruptly use that to determine the political future of Mark in Nimba County. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the corruption news I broke today. I see something. Is the Internal Audit Agency.
The Internal Audit, the IA.
The other day we were talking about fight against corruption. I beg your pardon. Let me just digress a little bit, right? The other day we were talking about the president's suspension of people and how his supporters were equating that to a demonstration of fight against corruption. And I said no. I mean, the textbook meaning or in interpretation or the good governance explanation of what fight against corruption is does not define as just arbitrary suspensions without any effort prosecution being instituted. That is not it is actually protection instead of fighting corruption. However, we stated a very, very significant point that there are elements that contain or demonstrate fighting corruption. And one of that we said clearly was building what strong institution. You cannot fight corruption without strong, independent, vibrant institutions. Right? Now, one such institution that has been developed or established in this country to help demonstrate national commitment to curbing graft in public service has been the RAA, the Internal Audit Agency. And you understand? So now, all along, these institutions from Elling to Weir have been there as what? Gatekeeping the public treasury from being depleted by ill-intentioned public officials. So they have always been there. So these people are there streamlining and, of course, studying and investigating every transaction that happened in agencies of government, ministries, corporations, and blah, blah, blah. You always have them there. Now, that's their role, right? To stop corruption from happening, to ensure due process, to ensure due diligence. Now, with these reports coming out that massive corruption is being reported from the very agency that's been established to ensure internal prudence on financial decision making across government agency, it is troubling. It undermines the very fabric of fighting corruption, strong institution. So that means Boakai has damaged our anti-graft institutions under his watch. Our anti-graft institutions are becoming, perpetrators of corruption. Right? So this is exactly what it is. This is a rescue government. That's what one of the callers said. Just like Taylor promised liberation, he came. We saw the other way. He promised rescue, and we are seeing, something very opposite to rescuing the country, saving us of all of the HO corruption things and all of that. But that is that for you. And so now it also helps in solidifying the broader political conversations about, an alternative route in our politics. And that's what we are looking at, the newest political party, the CMC. 2029. Could Liberian even ready, to consider something outside of the CDC and the Unity Party? Should they even be? And with how the CMC is going and everything she's doing, the agenda she's kind of projecting, development, intervening directly. They're not just carrying the political rhetorics, as we have seen, right? They're not going with knee-jerk, quick impact, right? Get you loan yet, like Mill Jones did with Move. Get you loan yet, get you this other one yet, okay, that other one yet. And just quick fix something, but rather they're being structural, and of course, they're going grassroots. Okay, in order to boom economic activities in this village or in this town or in this district, let's connect, let ensure free movement for the people, right? Let's build their bridge, let's build their rules, let's connect them. You'll be able to interact. When you get your own goods here, go to the other place, sell it, other people come to your own market and sell it, making movement easy across the country are part of how the CMC is engaging the project. Will the people of Liberia buy it? Will they see it? Or will they fall for the regular political rhetorics and, of course, all of the games that play, like Hagar emphasized quite well, the issue of tribe and all of those. 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 86 500 104. Liberians look confused, thinking over their head. Where are they going to turn to? Where's the Messiah going to come from? How is the Messiah going to be known? Right? How should we even give support to political party? Must they demonstrate practically what they can do or their interest in the living condition of the people and the transformation of these conditions and all that, right? Becomes a new debate that's been introduced to our politics. It appears like Musa will not be here, but we can have these conversations. And of course, subsequently, we will still have him to come and speak exactly from whom, what they have in stock to bring for the Liberian people. But let's hear your views on these. 0776 104 104 086 500 104. For those of you in the diaspora quite interested in the politics, whether it's the name that attracts you, whether it's the personalities beyond. But look, kudos to Marvin Cole for what to display in Bond County. Indeed, that is what you do to demonstrate to your suitors. It's just like when you're going for the girl, and you can be going your first time, you go carry pack on your hand. It's a first impression. So the first impression was massive, but let's see how its sustainability and of course and how it plays out in the end. So let's take that color. The cash giveaway is also here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. Abdullah Kamara, Bonjoati.
Kamara, go ahead.
Thank you very much for the topic. For me, I'm not believing too much of political parties. Everybody there coming with their party. My question to these people, what are they doing now? So what are they looking at 2029? will come on the billion platform will agree. But what are they doing now currently?
Yeah, but CMC is doing some things now. That's what I'm saying. It's a new party, but they're involved with capital project, community project. They're involved with that. We've not seen that with other political parties when they come to the fray.
These are such impression. All the nations do the same thing.
Okay.
So they started there for that party.
All right, let's talk to somebody. Morning.
Hello? Yeah, how you doing, Eda?
Morning, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Ibrahim. I'm calling for Florida. Yeah, Eda, you know, I listen to you guys this morning. And to be frank, for some of us, we are frustrated by the sin. So you can tell some of us maybe will be taking a trend. The only thing I want to tell you guys, you had a replay strategy to come up with enough lies. You got to see the lies that community party to power today. Yeah, so you can tell, you had to come up with enough lies that they will succeed to work tomorrow. Thank you, brother.
All right, let's talk to this one.
Yeah.
Morning.
Good morning, I wish you.
Go ahead. Morning.
Yeah, he got this the part of Tabu Rasta. I'm pulling in from point four to this particular geographical location in Zimbabwe.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, I got purpose this morning to appreciate former Minister Samuel Twell. Look, I put the people gonna
no, but I'm not Minister Samuel Twell thing we're talking here. It's a different radio station you heard that one on.
Yeah, good morning, Abu Ega. This is Mohammed Donto. Yeah. Well, Abu Ega, I just want to appreciate Mr. PVC and his Marvin Cole for all their strategy and campaign they are running. They're just doing it just formality. The Congo of Democratic Change, the CDC, will be of the two come 2029, the election. So thank you for the time.
Oh, you think the CMC formation just a formality?
Exactly, just a formality. They can stand in front of the Congress of Democratic Change in its capacity.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Morning. Okay. No time. 0776-104-104-886-500-104. The number you can call us on right here to be a part of today's edition. Let's talk to this person. Morning.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Thank you, but this is someone I think what's up today, I can show you the Liberian. The other party and the CDC in the political landscape of Liberian continue to dominate. The reason why I'm saying this is because during those days, the good thing people coming down the line to say, oh, President William the mindset of being president, that law that they created. And the owners by coming to the Liberian people, every party that Eddie Johnson said, the Unity Party, no, to leave Unity Party now and go to CMC, they will just have you saw LPDP. Even the guy who called every day. When LPDP came to the CDC 2016, we have a common coalition, right? The chapter of those states, the LPDP youth chapter, we just told them, say, oh man, your goal recruit your people, your brains, let me see how else we can move forward. You couldn't even provide or think person when it comes to their leadership. So it's difficult. You don't find somebody not living for the CDC comes and say, oh, they want to be CMC a member. It will be difficult. You will just go out to eat their money, can't come for their senator, Thursday. You don't see it happening.
So I mean, people not prepared to leave their parties.
It will be difficult.
No matter how beautiful the other party agenda is, people remain dogmatic and they're not going to leave from where they are.
They will not leave. They will just go there because Musa President has money. I made reference on Aristotle. Where's LPDP today? Where's LPDP? I challenge you. When he did make decisions to your prayer for leadership, shut up. They can't provide one.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Morning.
Good morning. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
That's the way speaking from Dominican Broad Street. Yeah. Thank you for your topic on the discussion. Man, it's same thing had to do with the political party being funded by the honorable representative. You see, we came from a culture background of democracy. Our democratic culture background came from America. America, who is a big continent like that, there are only two political parties and they did very well. But in that group, when somebody shared their right today, they had an intent of either being representative or being senator. Somebody looking for a country, they want to be a party standard bearer. You know, when you have development oriented something, you can merge with another party, you carry the development there. But one party will not solve our problem. Million party will not solve our problem. Only togetherness will solve the problem. Thank you.
But when the other parties who are already established are not welcoming of new ideas, when people go there, they are resentful. And you saw when he joined the Liberty Party, how you were treated, you had to leave. So sometimes some of these are the reason why people say, let me go establish my own party and develop from there.
Of course, my brother, sometimes, but you know, too much of party will bring too much of discrimination, division, and whatsoever. Thank you.
All right, thank you very kindly.
Let's talk to another person right
Santo,
here.
Mr. Bwaka is traveling with over 37 people to America.
Morning.
Morning. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm Desmond from District 14.
Mm-hmm.
There's a brilliant idea that most of the that I've come up with. I've just sent in my application on the website to be a member of this party. The last caller said, the previous caller said that nobody's waiting. I'm waiting. We support the CDC. We are tired with this CDC being a party thing. We want a party that is ever changed. We want to change the whole thing ever.
So you are willing to leave the CDC to join the CMC?
Seriously, I'm seriously about.
So why will you be leaving your party? What's attracting you to the CMC?
The CMC is talking about change. We need a new idea, not just the old idea about just getting people when we want. Our expectations have not been met. You know, just in the last election, the former president, we are frustrated us. You understand? He's frustrated us. We are tired. There are people who work in the government that you could not change them. They were not doing the thing of the Liberian people while the Liberian people expected. And it's not change them. We need somebody that has the idea like Musabere has their feeling. So we are willing to support him. I'm in District 14. I wish I can be connected to the party that would campaign in District 14 and other parts of Mosovado and other countries and make sure that this party be there.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Hey, let's talk to this. You live?
Yeah, I will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just want to make a correction for the previous caller. He said that President will make a mistake. I want to tell you, President will not the person that can make mistake in any leadership ability. So if you want to lead our party, anyway, it's an individual difference. So
but they don't really want to start making plans.
No, you should bring up saying that President we are we test the SARS people. You should
the man believe it was an out of mistake to have given power to these people. And
No, it's democracy. And President is a person who believes in a peace and prosperity. That's eventually it relinquish power to President Bwaka. Not because he's not a president. All African presidents they are defying justice. They are living in power. But President you don't define justice.
All right, thank you.
Justice of the people.
All right, thank you. It will not be easy.
Yeah, good morning. How you doing? I'm Jonathan Mob. I'm calling precisely from Beaumont. I want Liberians to know that we are not static, but we are dynamic. In the sense that if we find there's a political party that's able to leverage the Liberian.
Oh my God! We have like 3 minutes. We can still squeeze like 4 or 5 calls, right? Depending. So let's take more calls and be out of here. So the cash giver will stay on in 3 minutes. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah, good morning. This is Steven Helbert calling from Capital Papa.
Where?
The previous caller that called and talk about we are no division. It's far away from CDC. Sometimes they can just do it to set it by their own party where they want to, but in not John CDC, it's your phone.
How you know the man are citizen?
I know that man, quote them at APC.
You know the man. Where you know the man from?
I know the same community you calling from.
Oh, because you know the community. I mean,
you are coming out. Your first lady kept up Baba. People could live down there. Some of them can just do it just to set about a political leader that came with a getting with either king. That may not be decent. Thank you.
So you only call to.
Yeah, call to tell you the man citizen.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm having Johnson calling for people on issue number 4.
Go ahead, Abby.
So the TSC issue for me, I don't worry on TSC. Yeah, because I know TSC that party that established the Liberian people in the country where I know of. They don't get form for new political party. They always lost to the injured and they know.
But people fell for PDP, LPDP, right? No, not PDP. That's a cassette party.
Yeah.
PRP went. PRP now made it to the election.
No, because the man unfortunately passed, but people joined. We saw them. They commended a lot of followers.
What made it to the election so that history will not be.
What about ANC? ANC also.
The people that if they can make it to the election, are what we're discussing. So that's another arm that we join CDC after you know what's up now. So I don't worry on that people. That people gradually join CDC. You don't have to join United Party, but you join CDC.
All right, thank you, thank you very much. That's it. The people forming their party to come join. The people want on seat both United Party and CDC. You talking about John? Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. You gotta leave away. You gotta move away from your monitor, or we'll have to.
Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Emmanuel Davis, and I'm calling you from Patnosville. You know, I say I'm calling from Patnosville.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
You know, the art of forming the political parties. That those things that just I got it from. Just what the political caller just said. You know, normally the Liberian election just don't end that way. You always have 7 rounds. In the 7 rounds, you have people making some high level of negotiation. And then where
so that second round we're talking about. So that second round, you think that second round again into now will be UP and CDC?
Sure.
No, but CMC is saying no. We want to be the next person. It should be CMC instead. So we got to get rid of these people.
Okay, there's for my part, there is no problem. Still, it's where everybody they themselves that have one right to form a party.
All right, thank you very much. What an interesting conversation. We can continue another time and continue to gauge the views of Liberians on how they think these things are. But here, guys, we have to go.
And of course, we'll be here on tomorrow. Until then, let's keep the peace of Liberia. This country will not burn. Liberia is the only country we have.
Certainly, Liberia is the only country that we have, and of course, cannot be deported from. So the president leaves the country, we are told, with 35 or more delegation, members of his delegation to the U.S. And so that's going to cost the country a whole lot of money. But again, we will keep watching out to see. The president is basically going there to tell the man, say, Mr. Trump, we will make sure. So until the president is done making sure in the U.S., my name is Abu Higa here. Bye-bye.
Freedom fighter.